The best way you can support me is with a simple subscribe. Subscribe to my channel for more content like this. All right, Mr. TALIAFERRO TV, how's everybody doing? Now, again, I want to make sure we get something clear. There are going to be a few occasions when I tell you guys I got a source on a story, and there are some occasions when I tell you this is being reported on by TMZ, Hot New Hip Hop, or Complex, or a major outlet, or any of the major news outlets out there that cover hip hop news or sporting news. I'll make that clear which one we're talking about here. Right now, I have a source on this. Now, anytime I said I had a source on it, go do your homework and your research on TALIAFERRO. I'm 99.9% correct if I tell you I have a source on something. Now, salute to my favorite podcast out there, and I love to have a source on my favorite podcast out there, the Joe Budden podcast. It is absolutely a phenomenal podcast. They're taking off in viewership right now because of Joe Budden and his complex situation. But other than that, they just got a really dope podcast on their hands. I really like the knowledge that I get from it. I'm a guy who's born in this era, right? I was born in the 90s, but obviously my music in my era is right now. I don't know a lot about some of the great MCs in the 90s. Shoot, Pac and Big, I was like, what, 2 when the shooting and everything happened, or the beef started with them too. I don't know a lot. So I'm able to get a lot of knowledge and get some perspective on some of the 35, 36 and up people, and get their perspective on like what, I think Roy's a little younger than that, but I'm able to get some perspective on what they think about the new sound, who they rocking with, who they not rocking with. I like it. It's good conversation that you can't get a lot of educated, good hip hop talk in a lot of spots right now. And I think between Joe Budden, it's his show with Maul and Rory, I think we're getting good conversation about the culture and hip hop. I watch it every week. With that being said, there was a rumor out here in the atmosphere that the Joe Budden podcast, they got a $5 million deal to go to Revolt. I can tell you that is 100% not true, but I can say this. There was a deal on the table for Joe Budden, and he has met with Diddy. Right now, he even said that on his podcast, but I'll tell you some source information. Charlamagne the God actually linked Diddy and Joe Budden up. After it was announced that he wasn't going to be returning to Complex, they actually got a deal for Everyday Struggle. This is how it started. Academics, Joe Budden, a nice lucrative deal, a nice heavy 6-figure deal to be on Revolt TV for P.Diddy. Now, Academics was like he's still negotiating with Complex. He wants to see how that goes. So the Everyday Struggle thing for now fell through the cracks. Now it could be reestablished at a later date. My source is telling me that's not what Joe Budden is now pitching to Diddy. To a lesser degree, he's pitching his podcast to Diddy. Now the numbers won't be the same as an Everyday Struggle that would pretty much take place every day during the week. It's this podcast, which is still a nice, I've been told, a nice, decent, to close to 6-figure check for all 3 of these people individually, with Joe being the lead. I've been told that idea, and Diddy has offered or is planning to is close to making an offer to Joe Budden for the podcast, and that it's going to be up to Revolt to, take that offer or what. Now, there was an official offer for Diddy for Everyday Struggle. There's not been an official offer to the best of my knowledge. It's close to happening for the podcast yet. And the $5 million rumor is Diddy's not giving you $5 million for a podcast that can only air like once a week. The best content comes from them when they're only talking to you once a week because they're able to cover a lot of stuff. Now the bag probably is going to be offered from Diddy because they want Budden. Revolt wants Joe Budden badly, and it's probably going to happen, right? But it's not the $5 million that I heard reported. It's just fake news, like Trump said, just fake news. But the Joe Budden podcast is likely to head over to Revolt soon. We will see about that. Nothing is imminent, but an offer probably is going to come from Diddy's side at some point soon. Now, there was an offer on the table for Joe Budden and Academics for Everyday Struggle, and that deal was facilitated by Charlamagne the God. The relationship was established between him and Diddy, and that fell through the cracks because Academics is continuing to negotiate with Complex, and it looks like Complex is going to give him a nice deal to keep him there, right? So I'll keep you guys up to date as soon as I get more. Thank you for the time, love, support. It's been a nice 2017 for me, but I'd be lying to y'all if I say I wasn't watching how some of these deals come out, and I know what kind of personality I have, and I know what I'm working with my brand. I'm just looking a little bit, and I don't mind reporting it to you guys while I look and see what's going on. And I got sources telling me some things. All right, I'm out.
I want to salute you, homie, you know, for building your own thing and doing your own thing, creating your own platform, your own website.
I got one life to live out my dreams, and I'm giving this thing all I got. I interview celebrities. I talk sports. I represent the culture.
Right now, you're turning up on itsmrtaliaferro.com, shawty. Yeah.